Hello students, chapter The Portrait of a Lady, author Khushwant Singh. Today I am going to start the second session of the chapter, page 5, second paragraph. In this paragraph we will read how grandmother common link of friendship snapped with the author. Now the author says, when I went up to university, I was given a room of my own. The common link of friendship was snapped. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. So the author says, when I went up to the university, I was given a room of my own. He says that when the author was given the separate room on joining university, the common link of friendship was break suddenly. This was the first point, that how that common link of friendship snapped. Earlier we have read the turning point of friendship, and that friendship is now reached on the verge of break. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. Now, my grandmother accepted her seclusion. Seclusion means loneliness. Resignation means to submit, to accept. So, my grandmother accepted her loneliness without any objection. She said that, okay, fine. She quietly accepts her loneliness and devotes herself to all the spinning wheel, reciting prayers from morning till evening without any objection. So she says she rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. Spinning wheel means charkha. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel spinning and reciting prayers. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. Now, till now, what we have read, we come to know about the character of grandmother, that grandmother was reserved and non-interfering. She didn't interfere in the affairs of grandson, that why he's going to university or why he's given a separate room. She accepted everything. Then in the afternoon, she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. So now she tried to divert herself and change the routine of hers when she reached the city. This is the change routine of the grandmother when she reached city, that she started spinning the wheel. Uh, in the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows, because now grandson was not with her and she tried to distract herself by feeding the sparrows. While she sat in the veranda breaking the bread into little bits, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirpings. So when she sat in the veranda breaking the bread means pieces of bread into the little bits, into the pieces, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirpings. Now, what do you mean by veritable bedlam of chirpings? Veritable means something which is real or natural, and bedlam is confusion. Chirping means sound of noise or sound of the birds. So veritable bedlam of chirping means refers to the noise and confusion created by the chirpings of the sparrow around her grandmother. So this is the meaning. Some came and perched on her legs. Some came and perched. Perch means to rest on something. Others on her shoulders. Now, sparrows were so familiar with her that they used to come and sit on her legs, on her shoulders, and some even sat on her head. She smiled but never shoo them away. She used to smile but never shoo them away. Shoo means to make a person or animal go away by shouting or saying shoo. It used to be the happiest half hour of the day for her. This was the happiest half hour of the day for her. Now, from this particular lines, we come to know about the character of grandmother, that she was benevolent and gentle. Benevolent means like kind-hearted only, loving one, and gentle also. So the earlier also we have read the character traits of grandmother. Now there are another two. One is she is benevolent and gentle. She was non-interfering and practical. Okay, So this is what we have read in this passage. Now coming to the next passage, when I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years, and at her age, one could never tell. But my grandmother could. So he says, when I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset that my grandson is going outside, but she didn't say anything. And because at her age one could never tell also, but my grandmother could. Means he wants to say that he believed that it would be maybe the last time that he would see her grandmother, because he is going out for 5 years, but she didn't say anything. She was not even sentimental. She didn't show any feelings or expressions or emotion. She came to leave me at the railway station but did not talk or show any emotion. She readily accepted the situation and she came to see me off at the railway station also. But her lips moved in prayer. One work she was always, which she was doing, lips were moving in prayer, praying for the grandson, and mind was lost in prayer. And her fingers were busy telling the beads of the rosary. And her fingers were busy telling the beads of a rosary. That rosary. That mala which this grandparents you have seen in your house also, grandparents are having one mala in which they used to chant. Okay, so she was continuously saying the prayer when she came to see of her grandson. Now from here, when we read the lines, we come to know about the character of another attribute of grandmother, that she is practical, having strong willpower and realist also. She accepted the situation according to the trends of the trend. Nowadays trend is there that grandchildren go outside and study, so she accepted the situation also. Silently she kissed my forehead, and when I left I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. So silently she kissed my forehead, and uh, when I left, I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. So, cherish means to remember the memories which you keep and always in mind. Moist means wet. Imprint means uh, impression on your mind. So I just remember that moist impression as the last sign of physical contact between us. So this was the last contact before going to abroad. But that was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. When I came back, she was again was there to welcome me. At the station, she did not look a day older. He says that my grandmother was the same. She did not look a day older. She still had no time for words. Still no time for words means she was saying the prayers. And while she clasped me in her arms, she held me tightly, clasped me, she held me tightly in her arms, and I could hear reciting her prayers. And he says I was still able to hear the prayers. Even on the first day of my arrival, her happiest moments were with her sparrows that she fed longer with frivolous rebukes. And he says that, but I noticed that though I have come back, but still she didn't forget to feed the sparrows, which was the routine of her day. She didn't forget to feed the sparrows, which was the happiest moment of her in the day. She fed longer and with frivolous rebukes. Rebuke means when you scold someone. Frivolous means in a playful manner. Like in Hindi we say प्यार से डांटना. So she used to feed the sparrows with frivolous rebukes. So this is what in this paragraph we have read, that after coming back also, grandmother was still there reciting the prayers. She welcomed him back, and in that day she didn't forget to say her prayers and to feed the sparrows. Now, next paragraph, this is a little change in the attitude of the grandmother, that in the evening a change came over. She did not pray that day. So, this was the change. Though we have till now read that she was a religious woman, she never left out her prayers, but in the evening a change came over. She did not pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum and started to sing. Old drum, dholak, and started to sing. For several hours she thumped the sagging for several hours she thumped the sagging skins of the dilapidated uh, drum and sang of the homecoming of the warriors. So she started singing the song and thumped the sagging skins of the dilapidated drum of and sang the song of home warriors. So thumped means hit. Sagging means skin of the dilapidated. Dilapidated means like which is ruined one. Okay, not in a proper manner. And sagging means to become loose and hanging, the skin of the drum, and in a state of it was in a ruined manner. We had to persuade her to stop the overstraining. We have to persuade her to not to overstrain her. So we have to persuade her to stop to overstraining. Persuade means convince, and to stop to avoid overstraining. That do not strain yourself. That continuously she was for hours singing the song. That was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray. So that was the first time we come to know that she did not pray that day. That was the date she did not pray. Why? Because grandson has come and she was very happy. The next morning she was taken ill. Next morning she was taken ill. It was a mild fever and the doctor told us that it would go. But my grandmother thought differently. She told us that her end was near. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her of life she had omitted to pray, she was not going to waste any more talking to us. So the next morning she was ill and there was a mild fever. Doctor told it would go, but grandmother thought differently. She said my end was near, and since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray. So she says that one mistake I have done, that in the last phase of my life, I didn't pray. So she regretted her mistake of giving up prayer the previous days. She says that this was the mistake I have done. I didn't pray, and I know now my end is near because in a day I didn't pray. So my end is near now, and she was not going to waste any more time talking to us. So she declared that nobody will come to me because I will not talk to anyone. Now I will totally pray. We protested, but she ignored our protest. So he says, we protested, but she ignored our protest. She lay peacefully in bed, praying and telling her beads. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A peaceful pallor spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead. So a peaceful pallor. Pallor means her face become dull. When a person dies, that person's face become dull. So though they protested, she ignored their protest. She lay peacefully in bed, praying, telling the beads of a rosary, chanting the mantra and all. And even before she could suspect, her lips stopped moving. The rosary fell from her lifeless fingers, and we know that she was dead. And a peaceful pallor. Pallor means her face become dull. So this is what happened. This was the changed attitude of grandmother, that she knows that my end is near because she has done one mistake. Now moving to the next paragraph, that is, it tells us about that even nature mourns the death of grandmother. When we come to this paragraph says that nature also mourns the death of grandmother. How? We lifted her off the bed as is customary. He says that when a person dies, they lift her off the bed as if customary, as a tradition, on the ground, and covered her with a red shroud. Shroud is the piece of cloth used to wrap a dead person. After a few hours of the mourning means when you feel sorrow for someone death, when you pay condolences. We left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. So they started making the arrangements for her funeral. In the evening, we went to her room with a crude stretcher to take her to be cremated. So in the evening, we went to the room with a crude stretcher. Crude means a roughly made stretcher. One sort of bed is there for cremated. Cremated means when you burn a body. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. This was a setting sunset time, and room was filled with golden light. We stopped halfway in the courtyard. When they were doing this process, that bringing the stretcher and taking her off, they stopped for a minute in the courtyard. What happened? All over the veranda and in a room, right up where she lay dead and still wrapped in the red shroud, thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. Now, what happened? That the sparrows which she used to feed every day, that day all sparrows came and for to mourn the death of grandmother. They were all surprised and shocked that there were thousands of sparrows that scattered on the floor. There was no chirping, and surprising thing, they were not chirping because it's a habit of birds they used to chirp. This shows that even nature mourns her death. They were all mourning the death of grandmother. We felt sorry for the birds, and my mother fetched some bread for them. We all felt sorry for the birds, and my mother, as a routine, fetched some bread for them. She bring the bread for them. She broke it into little crumbs, as grandmother used to do. She break the pieces and given to the birds, but the sparrows took no notice of the bread. That day, sparrows took no notice of the bread, and when we carried my grandmother's corpse off, they flew away quietly. Next morning, the sweepers swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin. So, this is what I was trying to say, that nature mourns the death, and even sparrows also know that somebody dead body is there. They will not eat. They should not eat anything. So they took no notice of the bread. And when we carried my grandmother corpse means dead body, they flew away quietly. And next morning, the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin. So with setting sun, the grandmother city friends, so who are the city friends? Sparrows. So they arrive to pay their last respect. They sit silently without chirping, refuse breadcrumbs offered by author's mother. They fly away quietly when grandmother's body is carried away. So this is how grandmother death was. This is how sparrows mourn the death of grandmother, and this is how author tried to depict her grandmother. Okay, so this is how we justify the title, The Portrait of the Lady, written by Khushwant Singh, that the word portrait here describes the personality of the grandmother who had all the attributes of a lady. So we have read the title, that Portrait of a Lady, and portrait here means to describe the personality of a grandmother who had all the attributes of a lady, all that character sketch. In between I was telling you the point that this is the like kind, benevolent, religious, uh, non-interfering, realistic, strong willpower. These are all the attributes of grandmother which Khushwant Singh counts in all. So it is a loving tribute from a grandson to his grandmother and the emotional bond he shares with her. Moreover, the readers are forced, this is point to be noted, moreover, the readers are forced to evaluate their own relationships with their grandparents and to reflect on the reasons for the growing loneliness of the elders in their families. So, this is the end of the chapter. Thank you.